Hey everyone, welcome to the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
And we are here on this wonderful Friday morning after a long Wednesday night race.
Yeah.
After it being moved 3 times. Well, 2. Yeah, 2. If you count LCQ getting moved to what was supposed to be. Yeah, you know what I mean. Either way. Yeah. The Clash happened. It was
one of the races of
one
all
of
time.
the races of all time. It was long and drawn out. Sorry, y'all, if that was loud. Yeah. We won't give away too much into that because we have a whole entire review section of the Clash that we have prepared for you guys.
Yes.
How long was it?
I think
4 hours?
The caution as a whole was like 6 hours, but I think he drove like 4 hours of it.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, guys, nothing really in the news section for this week. Not that much. Other than
as long as Cletus gets signed off from his Rockingham truck test, he will be racing at Daytona in the truck series in the 4 truck for Nice. Alongside, I won't give it away. Well, actually, everybody knows by now. Alongside Travis Pastrana, who will be making a return to NASCAR, which I think is going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting.
The truck series as a whole is going to be crazy for Daytona.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have Hocevar, who's running.
Yeah.
That's the other thing in the news. Hocevar signed a
multi-year extension that goes into the 2030s.
Yeah, so you're going to see him in that 77 for
I know all the Bowman haters are crying, falling to their knees in the middle of the local Walmart. He was never going to Hendrick. I don't know why everybody thought that. And it's not that I just don't think that they're going to move on from Bowman at some point, because I do see the possibility. But Hocevar was never going to be that guy. Yeah. He doesn't fit the Hendrick mold. If you, again, are a Hendrick hater, you would say, he has too much of a personality to go to Hendrick. They're not going to let him stream because look at what the last guy did on a live stream.
Yeah.
But also interesting for Hocevar, he has not completed 3 full seasons in the Cup Series, so that does not lock him into the race, like the maximum races he can do in the lower series. So he's going to run like 14 truck races this year.
Yeah. His truck for Daytona looks sick. Yeah. The IKEA and Best Buy. IKEA, I'm currently moving. Well, not currently, but like in the process of moving. And I love IKEA. IKEA is great. IKEA, if you're hearing this, please sponsor my move. Help me out. Your boy needs a new entertainment center.
Sponsor the podcast.
Sponsor the podcast.
Get a new table.
Yeah, we need a new table. This thing is rickety and from the 80s.
May even be from before that. It was my grandma's.
True. It's literally leveled by a portable charger that I don't know why we use that every week. We haven't found something else, but that's just,
it gets the job done.
Yeah, what works, But anyways, that's enough about Daytona, because we will come to you guys next week with a preview for Daytona. This week is solely silly season moves and the Clash.
And then we're going to sprinkle some hot takes in there for you.
Hot takes. If you guys have been listening since the beginning of last year, since we started the beginning of the pod, you'll know that we brought you guys some hot takes last year.
They aged like milk.
Yes, and we didn't forget about them. We're gonna bring you guys some more for this season.
Hopefully we do a little better.
Yeah, I feel like these ones might be a little bit better, depending. Good Lord. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Anyways, silly season moves. Blake.
All right, so we'll begin with Trackhouse. Again, some of these we did cover last year, but new season, we're going to start fresh. We're going to just give you the rundown. That way, if you're new into NASCAR, you're new into the podcast, whatever, you kind of have a little bit of know with what's going on, so you kind of know what to look for. Zilich is now in the Cup Series with Trackhouse. He'll be in the 88, which was SVG's number last year. Now he has moved to run the 97. With that, Spire picked up Daniel Suarez, who was fired by Trackhouse. He will be in the 7 car, the cursed car. Corey LaJoie left demons in that car that nobody can shake.
After the Clash, he's mad at Trackhouse. He's still salty.
God, yeah.
We'll get into that, but you know.
Haas and Rick Ware both move from Ford to Chevy. Jim Pullman, who was Allgaier's crew chief, will now be on the pit box for Kyle Busch. Randall Burnett. Yeah, Randall Burnett. I don't know why I said Burdett. Randall Burnett.
Close
will
enough.
Be the crew chief for Zilich. Jimmy Johnson will continue racing in the Cup Series with a limited schedule, and he also will be already locked into the Daytona 500 with the open exemption provisional because he is washed.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Hang it up. Anyway, moving on. If you've listened last week, you know my thoughts.
Yeah.
Justin Alexander will be the new crew chief for Eric Jones. Anthony Alfredo will be back to attempt the Daytona 500 for Beard Motorsports. I would assume he probably will show up for Talladega's as well.
Yeah. I mean, last year at Talladega, he led a decent bit. So,
and then 24, I believe. I can't remember. I want to say it was spring 24. Him and like BJ McLeod at one point of the race were like working together, leading. Like Anthony Alfredo is a good super speedway racer. Beard normally puts a lot into their super speedway car because they don't run every week. So that's a pretty good opportunity there. I mean, honestly, you never know super speedways. He could win.
It could be anyone, honestly.
And then we'll get to somebody who won't win. Corey LaJoie will be in the 4th car for RFK at Daytona to attempt the 500. Now, honestly, this is purely meant to be funny, satire, whatever you'd like to call it. RFK is going to win the Daytona 500 because Corey LaJoie is going to wreck half the field. As long as Brad Keselowski shows up, he's going to help in wrecking half the field. Ryan Preece is going to do his best Simone Biles impersonation on the backstretch to then distract the rest of the field so Chris Buescher can run on to win. So RFK terrorizes the whole field. Chris Buescher goes on to win. Next.
First hot take.
Yeah, that's take that one however you'd like to, but don't get offended. That is purely funny.
Yeah.
Now, if it comes true, that's going to be funny. Anyway, except for Priest flipping again. Please, for the love of God, keep that man on the ground. Chandler Smith will be back to attempt the Daytona 500 with Front Row. Probably not going to make the race. Let's be honest. Corey Haim will be attempting the Daytona 500 in the 67 car for 2311.
He'll probably make it, I bet.
I would think so. And we already touched on Hocevar signs a multi-year extension with Spire. Ultimately, this probably is going to sound crazy. I think that Hocevar is better off staying at Spire than going and getting in the 4th car for Hendrick.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, let's face it, he is the number 1 driver at Spire. You have him, and you literally have 2 veterans that are honestly solely there to help with the car and to help him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face the hard reality here. Michael McDowell ain't what he used to be. Great guy. I know with our tier list, if you saw that, I made people mad by putting him in the tier of people I don't really want to see win. It's not that I hate him. It's just I feel like he's overstayed his welcome in the sport, and there's people in the lower series that deserve a call-up, but there's people like him who probably could have already been gone who are still dead. Yeah. That's my thing.
Yeah.
He's not really a threat to win ever. Maybe super speedways. Throw it back to Talladega. He will kill the whole entire field to try to win.
Yeah.
But then you have Suarez, who's like borderline there to help with the car and help Hocevar out, but like could be a threat to win. He has won. He's not bad on road courses. I mean, he's won in Atlanta in one of the most famous finishes of all time. Like, he could be a threat, but ultimately Hocevar is your number 1 guy at Spire.
Yeah.
And I think he just fits the culture there. I think that's the place for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool to see a team latch on to a young driver early.
Yeah.
And, being like they see the potential and then are hopefully going to see the flourishing of the potential.
Yeah.
for sure.
I think they will. And then I'll talk about this now. Literally just kind of thought about it. With, obviously the whole Hocevar staying, he's no longer in the running for the 48, which a lot of people thought he was. I wasn't one of those people. I'm here to tell you I was right. Just kidding. Anyway, so the whole Bowman debacle, everybody wants Bowman gone. Bowman's washed, Alex Blowman, whatever, like all the stuff you see on social media. But who is one of the most consistent drivers in NASCAR week in and week out? Bowman.
Yeah.
And I say this next part not to take away from Chris Buescher, because I do ultimately believe the three drivers most benefited from this new change going from the playoffs back to the chase in no particular order are Buescher, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman. Because they can rattle off multiple wins in a season. They can get on a heater, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to wreck the race car. They're not going to put themselves in a bad situation. They're going to finish the race, and they're going to finish pretty well. Chase Elliott, 2 years in a row, started the year off with like historic top 20 runs. No DNFs in those stretches, whatever. Bowman's not far behind. Also, not to take away from Byron, I genuinely feel like some years, if it wasn't for the playoffs, the way Byron goes cold, Bowman would finish better in the points than Byron. Yeah. Byron's wins outshadow Bowman's consistency. If he can put it together and win 1 or 2 races on average a year, I think that shuts everybody up. Because ultimately, Hendrick's 4-driver lineup is better than Joe Gibbs' 4-driver lineup on the sole factor of Ty Gibbs just cannot get consistent, cannot win, you name it. Ty Gibbs is not living up to the last name. That is the only reason he's in the seat. You flip-flop that to Hendrick, and then you say their 4th driver is Bowman. Bowman clears Ty Gibbs by a mile.
Yeah. 100%.
But the whole internet is fire Ty Gibbs. No.
Well, because everybody knows that Ty Gibbs isn't going to get fired because of his last name.
Also, is Bowman really going to get fired? Who you fire Bowman at the end of this year? Who are you going to put in there? Corey Day?
Yeah.
Really? Like, don't get me wrong. I think the kid's good. I think he's got talent. But, like, you're going to, after 1 year full-time in the Xfinity Series,
send him up
there, and then think he's going to do better than Bowman?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest one that everyone thought was Hocevar, but he's locked in at Spire, so.
I mean, and I don't think Jesse Love is going to jump from RCR to Hendrick.
Yeah, I couldn't see that either.
And then Hill's never leaving the Xfinity Series. Like, I mean, just go down the list. Unless Corey Heim became just wide open and available and dropped from Toyota, I don't know who just is screaming, put me in the 48 car / 88 car, whatever route they decide to go after this. That's my take on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ready to move on to the Clash?
Yep. Let's get this race going.
So, last chance qualifying is where we'll start. Josh Berry wins LCQ, and Cindric gets the last transfer spot to the main event. The last, I think it was probably 30 or so laps was really interesting with Corey LaJoie, AJ Allmendinger, and Cindric. I mean, there was a point where it looked like it could have been any of those 3, honestly. Oh, yeah. I'm glad it was Cindric.
Yeah.
I'm the only one, I guess. I don't know.
I'm glad. I also I was fine with Cindric or Allmendinger.
Yeah.
I didn't really care to see LaJoie make it. I'm a LaJoie hater, whatever. That's established at this point.
Yeah.
Bowman did get the final transfer that was the highest points finisher, not locked in. So, yippee. Yeah. I mean, off to a great start for the Bowman believers. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the Clash. You can't really put many of your eggs in the basket of the Clash moving on to the season.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
I mean, and this was just an absolute.
You couldn't recreate this race if you tried.
Yeah, it was just a shit show from. Yeah, I'm not gonna say from the get go, but
from the get go. If we're talking Saturday got canceled and moved to Sunday because of snow. Then it snowed more. Then the whole one-day show from Sunday got moved to Wednesday, and then the heats were gone, and then it was only LCQ, and it was only race, and then LCQ, I guess we'll just use that as the segue. Getting into the Clash looks normal. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good short track race. There's no issues with weather. There's no, it's a pretty clean start. And in that, Larson, who started on the pole, had led all 20 laps at first. And with that was more laps than he'd ever led in his previous 10 Clash starts combined. So, which is crazy when you think about, short track, dirt racer Larson, that in the Clash, balls to the wall, no repercussions for wrecking kind of race, that between LA and the first year of Bowman Gray, he hadn't led more than 20 laps.
Yeah.
Lap 35, Byron had started to close in on Larson and battle for the lead. Lap 40, we start the year off right with a debris caution. Justin's favorite. Lap 48, Briscoe passed Byron for second. Lap 50, Logano starts a train reaction wreck with Chastain, Blaney, and Bubba Wallace, which was misreported by the Fox booth. They were like, oh, Chastain got in there too hot and got into Blaney and wrecked Bubba. But then when they showed the replay multiple times, it was very clear that the yellow and red Ronald McDonald car got straight in the back of Chastain, which Joe Logano was on one in this race, it felt like.
Yeah, Baldy Logano.
By lap 60, Byron gets back around Briscoe for second. Lap 72, Byron takes the lead from Larson. Briscoe also gets around Larson, so they're running 1-2. Lap 74, Larson falls to fourth, and Hocevar and Hamlin make contact, sending Hamlin up the track in turn 1. Lap 77, while battling essentially for last and trying not to get lapped, Cindric gets spun by SVG off of turn 4. Lap 84, Lap 84, Briscoe gets past Byron for the lead. Lap 86, Ty Gibbs gets up to second, passing Byron. Lap 97, Ty Gibbs takes the lead and is leader at the halfway break. And you're like, oh my God, is Ty? No. No. That was short-lived. Kind of a brief first half of the race. Recap, if you will. SVG got pissed, which ultimately I feel like is a good thing to start off his season at a tiny little short track where everybody's going to run into you to really get him right back in the swing of, hey, this is NASCAR. You can make contact, it's physical, all that. And that got him fired up and ready for the second half of the race, I feel like. Gibbs cars looked really good on the long run. Hendrick cars could not refire, it felt like, after restarts. And then Larson kind of faded. And then, remember how I said the weather was fine? Well, during the halfway break, it starts to rain and sleet with frozen little ice pellets just bouncing off the car and the track. Mm-hmm. They run around for a little bit. They say, let's red flag it, take them to the garage. Then they're like, we have wet weather tires. All right, it's a wet weather race. Everybody put the wet tires on, and we're going back out there. One of the people that was like, what are we even doing out here? This is stupid. We don't need to do this, was Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
And they ask other people, and then Larson, for instance, he's like, send it.
Yeah.
And which I think is kind of the right outlook, because they ended up speeding the pace laps up a little bit, I feel like, so you could tell that there wasn't really going to be a visibility issue with spray. They weren't really going fast enough. Why not at this point? I think at this point, NASCAR was like, just please say yes, get this race over with, move on, go home, get ready for Daytona, and leave Wilkesboro, leave Bowman Gray behind. So that's what they do. And then, surprisingly, it takes until lap 118 for something to happen. And that something was Josh Berry sliding into the turn 3 wall, making heavy contact, basically ending his day.
Yeah.
I honestly, did he get shipped in there? I don't remember. Or was it more or less he literally just lost control and slid in?
I think he lost control from what I remember, but I very well could be wrong.
Yeah. Again, that felt like a blur because, mind you, we said it was record setting with cautions, and we have not had many cautions yet. They are all in this half.
Yeah.
122 on the restart, Hocevar chooses the bottom and pulls off, insane slide job in front of Briscoe and Gibbs to take the lead. Lap 122, Cindric gets into the wall going into 3. Then Bowman makes contact with him, causing Bowman to spin. Blaney, Larson, Hamlin also pick up damage trying to get by. Lap 129, Chase Elliott wrecks Ty Gibbs, but Ty Gibbs is able to straighten the car back out and manage to stay 5th, which ultimately, the way that looked, I honestly don't feel like Chase got it, like, was intending to do that.
Yeah.
They still are at the point of, like, what the hell is the grip level here?
Yeah.
So the way that he kind of spun Ty Gibbs, they stayed locked together, and Gibbs was able to turn down and use Chase's car to straighten back out, and Chase ended up paying the ultimate penalty for that, which felt fair for what happened. Lap 136, Blaney spins from 18th, but is able to continue, which at this point, like in the rain, Blaney looked like he might have definitely had a shot to win if it stayed dry the whole time, and now you're like, oh my God. Lap 139, Bowman and Hamlin make contact, with Bowman getting into the wall and Hamlin spinning, and then none other than Ryan Blaney ends up getting into Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
Then on lap 140, on the restart, SVG clears Hocevar in turns 1 and 2, and then Austin Dillon gets spun by Denny Hamlin. 143, the next restart, Priest takes the lead from SVG in 3 and 4, and Logano spins Chase Elliott. Lap 144, SVG then retakes the lead from Priest, and Larson spins Logano in 3 and 4, and while Elliott is slowing to avoid the wreck, Denny gets into him and goes airborne, does his best Ty Gibbs impression from last year. Lap 145, Zilich spins Gibbs, Hocevar gets into Gibbs, and then Busher, Reddick, and Bell all stack up in the aftermath. Lap 150, Kyle Larson slows off turn 2 from 8th and drops to the rear of the field. 153, SVG again retakes the lead from Priest. They really just were trading the lead at this point.
Yeah.
Lap 153, Larson runs out of gas.
And that's the thing. I never thought at the Clash we would be seeing people run out of gas.
Well, I don't think anybody expected there to be this many cautions and caution laps ran. So they and then also they're not going to fuel, if they know that they can do the whole Clash with a little bit of wiggle room, they're not going to fuel the car the whole way up for weight.
Yeah, but point.
And I mean, I think they almost ran one Clash under green and one Clash under caution, it felt like literally.
Yeah.
But definitely people running out of gas in the Clash was not on anyone's bingo card. 6, Priest roughs up SVG to again retake the lead. Lap 164, Chase Elliott runs out of gas, and then under the caution, NASCAR says, we've already had 2 cars run out of gas. Why don't we just go ahead and let everybody refuel the cars? I mean, at this point, it needed to be done. I don't think Chase or Larson stood a fighting chance to win the race at this point. So, I mean, what does it matter?
Completely valid.
Lap 165, Hocevar is penalized and told to put the wet weather tires back on because under the last caution, he put slicks on. And apparently, it was still deemed a wet weather race, so he wasn't supposed to be able to put the tires on, but even though there's officials in the pit/garage area thing, nobody was like, hey, no, y'all can't do that. They let him go back out there, and then it took Reddick, I know, and maybe one other person trying to put slicks on for them to be like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Hocevar did it? Yeah, Hocevar, you're getting penalized. To this exact moment, I honestly couldn't tell you what his penalty was. I think it was just going to the back of the field, which he already was there. So
yeah, I think that's what it was.
But I honestly wish they would have let them make the choice for slicks.
Yeah,
because then you're gonna have if it's not manageable and it is too wet and a couple people are wrecked, they're gonna go back in the pits and put the wets back on, and they're gonna be in the back anyway, so it doesn't matter. He up front was going to take the gamble of putting slicks on, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, the next caution where they're like, hey, so-and-so on, Hocevar on slicks restarted last and is up to 10th.
Yeah.
Then you're probably going to go in and put slicks on. But, whatever. And then 165, the restart from that, Priest gets the lead, Briscoe spins SVG, and then Zilich also spins. So, rip to Trackhouse, which, if it stayed raining the whole time, one of those two were definitely going to win.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hocevar also stood a very fighting chance for a while. Literally until he got into Gibbs, he stood a chance because he was on Ross Chastain's Don't Give a F tour.
Yeah.
Move or get moved. I'm going to the front. Priest, same way. So ultimately, at this point of the race, you kind of feel like you felt like Priest or SVG had the best shot just because of how aggressive they were. Lap 167, Blaney gets moved by Austin Dillon, and then Blaney gets payback in turns 3 and 4 and moves Dillon up the track where he drops back to 8th. Lap 181, Bubba finally had enough of whatever was wrong with him that day and spun Hosfar down the backstretch, which in the first half of the race, Bubba was losing his mind on the radio over SVG.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're at a short track. You're at Bowman Gray. You're at a tiny little track where these cars really have no business being.
Yeah.
There's going to be contact.
Yeah, 100%.
Boo, hoo, womp, womp. Somebody keeps getting into the back of you. They're probably faster than you if they're getting in the back of you. Build a bridge and get over it. This doesn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Quit whining.
Definitely.
So his frustrations boiled over at lap 181. Lap 182, Larson and SVG make contact with Larson spinning. And then somehow, by the grace of God, we were able to put 18 laps together, which felt unimaginable.
Yeah.
And Ryan Priest kind of just dog walked the field.
Yeah. I mean, Priest just, the last 18 laps just smeared everybody. I mean, let's be real.
Every chance where you were like, oh, look, Byron's closing in. No, Priest was literally saving tires for a restart. Every time that, I guarantee you, the spotter was like, hey, Priest, he's running a 10th and a half, 2/10 faster than you. He's catching up. He's about out of 5 car. You're on, there goes Priest. Slows it back down. Hey, Byron's, nope.
Yeah.
And then Blaney and Byron kind of raced for a minute, and nobody was beating Priest.
Yeah.
Which felt very fitting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he's one of those that when you think about short tracks, you think about him.
You want to go over the top 10?
Yeah, definitely. You got it up.
Yeah. So we'll go 10-1.
That works.
Switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bowman brings it home in 10th. Ross Chastain in 9th. Chris Buescher in 8th. Austin Dillon in 7th. Chase Briscoe in 6th. Denny Hamlin in 5th, who I genuinely thought was going to have a way better Clash than he did.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Now, obviously, it's what would have happened if it stayed dry. I think, honestly, the biggest shocker in the whole entire top 10, Daniel Suarez brought it home.
Yeah.
After every possible chance when he was side by side with the Trackhouse car, he was door slamming them. He was moving them. He was trying to wreck them. Bro has beef that is going to last a while with Trackhouse, which, honestly, kind of valid. If it wasn't for him, Trackhouse isn't where they are today.
Very true.
Like, he kind of was the driver that built Trackhouse. He was the only one there when it started. He got Trackhouse there first. No, he did not. Well, no, I don't think he did get him their first win. He got his first win in Trackhouse equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he brings it home 4th in the Spire 7 car. That is definitely not something to, like, bookmark if you're, like, going to bet this year, or you want a false sense of hope in the 7 car.
Yeah.
This was once. There was a lot of factors in this. Until we see this a little more often, don't put too much stock into that. Then your top 3, your podium. Blaney brought it home 3rd, which, I mean, absolutely insane for somebody that drove like mid-pack to the front. Weather came, spins multiple times, keeps hitting everything on the track, goes back to last, and then somehow comes back to 3rd. Byron finishes 2nd. Honestly, it kind of felt like he had a 2nd or 3rd place car the whole entire night. And then Priest is your winner.
Yeah, and that was a good paint scheme to win in.
There will be no diecast of that car.
That is so lame.
Shout out Coca-Cola.
They don't do any diecast?
Nope.
That's so lame.
If you are a big Priest fan, Coke fan, whatever, that's going to be one that you might want to seek out somebody that makes custom diecasts and pay a little bit of money for, because not happening.
Yeah.
It's like Chase Elliott ran the Coke car not last year, but the year before, and that was never made into a diecast. And you know the way all Chase Elliott fans are. If there's a car that is up to possibly make production, it's making production.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah. The best scheme of the night was not able to win, sadly. He did get beat up pretty good, though, and come home 7th. Austin Dillon. That car looked so good.
It did look good once I saw it on track.
Also, again, I would like to know from the racing community, all the fans, is the hate of Chase Elliott's car because it's Chase Elliott's car? Because at that point, that's valid. I understand how all of you work. That is fine. Or is it literally the car? Because that car looks awesome.
Yeah.
I literally, it has to just be that
Yeah. It's almost like Chase Elliott. It's like he's the Nickelback of NASCAR.
Yeah. Or if we want to bring in sports references, you could say he's like the LA Dodgers. No, I'm actually not going to say that. You could say he's like the Red Sox or the Yankees, where it's just everybody tells you not to like them, so you don't.
Yeah.
He's like the Patriots in that kind of stuff. The Dodgers are very warranted if you're a baseball fan to hate because they're ruining the sport, but this is a NASCAR podcast, so I digress.
Yeah, and we talked about football last week.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to some hot takes and predictions for the season. We came together with a list of about, I think I have 6 and you have...
How many do I have?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Would you like to lead us off?
Sure.
I'm very proud of you in that moment that you did not take the opportunity when I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you have 6, I have 7 to go. Oh, 6, 7.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but you did. All right, chopped. Anyways, first one. I added this one while we were talking. You know, I'm a man of the mustache. I love a good mustache. It's, you know, facial hair I've rocked for a while. And Blaney has a killer mustache.
Yeah.
But
I wish I could grow that.
You could if you would just shave your beard. That's all you got to do.
We'll see.
Anyways, but with his hair and his mustache, he looks like My Name is Earl. Like 100% just looks like My Name is Earl. And that's my first hot take of the season. Like, hold on. Let me just pull up a picture because, like, it's almost like uncanny. Like,
I mean, it is. Sorry, I moved away from the mic. It is. Well, yeah.
This will probably be a TikTok. I'll put pictures.
And then I guess to piggyback off yours, I'll make a funny hot take that Joey Logano looks like Walter White, like a spitting image.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you want to hit him with your first one?
Yeah. So my first hot take. This one's kind of a lukewarm take, I guess. Hocevar will win more than one race, so I'll say he'll win 2 or more races this year and make the chase.
Yeah, I had that one also.
I just don't see it not happening.
Yeah.
Like, to me, there's no way that Hocevar doesn't get on multiple wins.
Yeah.
I mean, you look back at last year, if NASCAR knew how to throw a caution, he would have won Atlanta. There's no doubt in my mind, rewatching that finish multiple times, that he was not about to just shoot the middle and win. I mean, he was putting somebody in the wall. He was going to win. Michigan had car troubles. He was leading. Coke 600 towards the end, leading. Car blew up. Like, you name it. Like, he was in position 3 or 4 times last year. I think Spire has learned from that. I think he's learned from that. I think that they will be able to deliver this year.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. I had that one too. So my next one is, this will be Kyle Busch's last season with RCR. Don't ask me where he's going next.
Yeah.
But I just think, especially if he doesn't win, like, he's going to go somewhere where he can at least have the equipment to win.
Yeah. So I'll piggyback off that because I had a very similar one. I said that this would be his last year at RCR, but he will also go winless and miss the chase.
I could see that.
I mean, unless something crazy happens, there's no world in which he is able to wheel that tractor.
Yeah.
Like, of a race car that has no business competing into a win. Like, you look back at Richmond last year. Where in the hell was Kyle Busch while Austin Dillon was out there dominating?
Yeah.
Like, at least if you give Austin Dillon a very, like, capable race car, he shows you that he can win. He can compete. We haven't seen anything out of Kyle Busch since he won 3 races his first year at RCR. I mean, bro has, like, left the chat, is off the map somewhere. GTA 6 will come out before Kyle Busch wins with RCR.
Yeah. No, 100. I agree. So I guess you kind of went. Do you want to do another one since you have more than me?
Yeah. Chris Buescher finishes top 5 in the points.
I could see it.
Yeah. I think he wins 1 or 2 races.
Yeah.
But again, with the shakeup of points, I think that this is going to greatly benefit him.
Yeah, I agree. That's one that I definitely have talked about that I think is going to have a good season this year.
I see one of yours that I really like. I don't agree with it, but I really like it.
Yeah, my last 3 I think are pretty decent. Ryan Preece wins first points race this season.
I think that's probably going to happen. He was arguably the best RFK car all of last year.
No, 100% he was. But I mean, you had him getting really close to winning Talladega last year.
Yeah.
But then, he didn't pass inspection afterwards. So, but still, I think he wins his first points race this year. This next one from you is not going to surprise anyone.
I forgot where I was.
No.
Okay. Alex Bowman will win at least 1 race, will make the chase, and will not be the worst points finishing driver at Hendrick.
Who do you think is going to be the worst?
William Byron.
Okay. I could see it.
And again, no hate to Byron. I think that at some point, if Byron can string together a full season, there's no doubt in my mind that he will bring a championship back to the 24 car.
Yeah.
It is literally the inconsistency. And I think in year 1 of a format that is going to reward consistency a lot more, and let's say somehow, some way he backs into a 3rd Daytona 500 in a row, he is not week 1 of the season in the points. He can't, let's try this, let's try that. It doesn't matter what we do here. It doesn't matter what we do there. He's going to have to string together a year. And he is the most notorious for
the summer slump.
He starts the year strong, and then he just fades, and then he kind of turns it back up, and then goes into the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. My next one is going to piss a lot of people off. Denny goes winless this season.
See, I like this, but I don't think that there is a snowball's chance in hell that he goes winless.
I think he goes winless.
I arguably think I can't believe I'm about to say this. I arguably think he is going to have the most wins in the Cup Series.
You think so?
Dude, there's no way. I don't think he wins the championship. Crazy. But, like, he's in the conversation for most wins in the series this year. I kind of feel like. Because there are 2 ways I could see this season going. New year, new point format. You're either going to have somewhat similar to the past, and you're going to have like your Larson, your Hamlin kind of
back and forth
for a stretch, and you're going to have a lot of other people that get like 2-3 wins. They're probably going to be at like 4 or 5. Like, it'll be competitive all the way around. Or you go, and then this is where I think yours would make sense. You go and you have a season full of parity and full of a lot of different winners.
See, that's what I think is going to happen this season.
That's why I could see it on one hand, because I do feel like that this points could shake it up in a different way. But it's hard to say confidently this early in the year, which is why we do these hot takes, that after losing his dad in the offseason, losing a championship at the end of the year, his mom's still like recovering, and we send all the greatest wishes and get well soons to her and all of that. But after everything that he's been through, I just don't, even if he just has the craziest down year ever, I think he wins 1 race.
I put it on there. Yeah. We'll see. There's a reason why these takes are hot and not lukewarm takes.
I felt like there was one, though, that we needed to have a debate between the 2 of us.
No, that's...
Again, something not on my bingo card, me taking up for Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
What's
going on? No, I don't say that one super duper confidently, but
that's like the hottest one. That's we could look back at this at the end of the year and be like, wow,
we were very wrong. Yeah,
or last year all over again. Ooh, what were me over here? Noah Gregson's gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, we messed up on that one. Yeah.
Here's another one that will shock nobody. Look, dude,
the coldest take of them all.
I genuinely see this happening. I really don't think it's that cold of a take, though, because last year.
Well, coming from you, it's a cold take. But also, you can recognize when this driver isn't doing good, too.
Yeah, like, I'm not... Okay, Chase Elliott wins 3+ races this year. I'm not a quote-unquote Chase sexual. I'm not, like... I don't just blindly say this dude is the GOAT, like, he's better than... Like, I'm not delusional. He's my favorite driver, but I will call a spade a spade. When he sucks and he's going through it, he's going through it. I don't care. I will say it. But you look back to last year, he won one race or 2 races that were points paying. Arguably, he won one, and one he was just perfect opportunity, right place, right time. Kind of was there, but not really there all day, and he won the Clash. So, yes, he won 3 races last year. Atlanta, to me, was like a true 110%. He won that race.
Yeah.
He was up front and leading and in contention before the big wreck. He played his cards right. He was down and out in 10th place with 5 laps to go, and somehow, some way, just pulled off a masterclass of drafting and won.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll try and elaborate, but we won't include this when we look back at the end of the year. Unless this is right, then I'm just going to take credit for it, obviously. But he will get a drafting track win, whether that be obviously Daytona, Talladega, or Atlanta. I think that is one. I think he breaks through and gets a road course win after a while.
Could see it, maybe.
Maybe. Because this is my thing, too, is SVG is not going to dominate the road courses this year, but I didn't put this as a hot take because I really feel like this is just a cold, like, everybody can see it. I think Zilich and SVG are going to be fighting for road course wins this year. So when they get to fighting, if Chase is there, like, if you're third in a road course and 1 and 2 start fighting, that is your ultimate opportunity as third. So I think that cracks the door for somebody else other than those 2 to win. And then I also think that he will get another intermediate win. But I guess I will say you could flip road course and short track.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely 3 races I don't feel like is out of the question, because
I could see it.
Like, last year was his rebound year. It felt like he'd had down years since 22 he did good, 23 he got hurt.
Since he got hurt, yeah.
And then 24 was kind of like a foundational rebuild year, getting back. 25 he started to come back out, and I think 26 is when he's going to be like, "Hey, I'm still here. Like, don't forget about me."
So my next one is that Ty Gibbs makes the chase.
Wholeheartedly disagree.
I am not happy to say that one, but I think that he is somehow going to dumb luck his way into it.
Now, with the chase being a 16-car field, there is a stretch where I could see it, but, like, I do genuinely feel like there are 16 to 18 drivers that are more capable.
I agree.
In the Cup Series. But, like, there's going to be one person that you're like, how did they make it in?
Yeah. That's who I think it's going to be. All right, hit him with your next one.
One front row motorsports car will make the chase. No, it is not Noah Gragson. I think that it'll be, I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like these two in Gilliland and Zane Smith kind of trade back and forth throughout.
Who's doing good. Yeah.
Throughout different parts of the season. I genuinely do think, though, that if Todd Gilliland can string together more races at once, I think he could be the one that, like, keeps Ty Gibbs out. He could be the one that keeps, like, somebody on the border out, because I don't think it is crazy to think that Todd Gilliland could have a top 20 points finish. Now, I do think with this format, no winning you're in, that your 16 to 20 race is going to be a very tight race. So that's where I feel like somebody like Todd Gilliland could, you know what, we'll scrap one. Todd Gilliland will make the chase. That'll be the front row driver.
Valid.
I don't think he'll make it very far, but I do think that he will make it in.
Yeah. And then I added one more because you talking about this was interesting. I think Zilich goes winless his rookie season. That is, I think, an extremely hot take.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is him and SVG are going to be too busy trying to win on a road course, and then neither of them are going to win.
I think I think it kind of depends on how third's doing that day to, like, I guess, more elaborate on what I talked about. Because for all we know, they could be 10, 12 seconds ahead of the field and then race it out. I don't think that is impossible. Where I lean to it being more possible, no, I don't think he's going to have the same rookie year SVG did and win 4 races.
Yeah.
Because he has to fight SVG for road course wins. SVG had nobody in the same zip code as him for road courses. But also Zilich is more talented on an oval than SVG is.
That is true.
There is a world in which Zilich gets his first win on an oval.
Yeah.
But I like it. I do think that sometimes when you listen to most people on social media, most podcasts, whatever, you name it, most people are like, it's a lock. Zilich is going to win in his first year. Trackhouse is going to, all 3 cars are going to make the play or make the chase, like SVG is still going to win more, but Zilich will win and Chastain will get a win here or there, like that kind of stuff. But I mean, I do feel like in some ways people are setting the bar way too high for Zilich, which is crazy to say coming off of an 11 win, what should have been championship season. But yeah, so I'll round it out and I will say that Penske will have a huge down year with Blaney being the only driver to win and make the chase.
I could see it.
I mean, Logano won Texas last year, where if we're being honest with ourselves, Michael McDowell had a shot to win that race. Yeah. Blaney had a shot to win that race. Like, he didn't really, dominate it or he won. I'm not going to take that away from him. It was not as egregious as that Nashville win.
Yeah.
But, he barely got a win last year. And then playoffs roll around and he wins New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And then Cindric. I love the guy. But I don't think it's crazy to say that he goes winless.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't capitalize at a super speedway, his chances of winning in the season are very slim.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I mean, as much as it pains me to say that, but he won worldwide technology like St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because Blaney ran out of gas. Yes, he was second all day. He was the only car that could keep close with Blaney, but if Blaney doesn't run out of gas, he didn't win. He won the Daytona 500 in his rookie year drafting track. He won Talladega last year drafting track. I mean, he is one of the best super speedway / drafting drivers that we have, I feel like. But if he can't deliver there, then I don't know where else he is going to deliver.
Good point.
I don't have the same level of confidence in him as I do even Logano when they go to Phoenix, they go to New Hampshire, they go concrete, flat track, that kind of deal. Where Penske really has shown to be better than everybody. I don't have that same level of belief that even I do with Logano, but I feel like Blaney is just head and shoulders #1 driver at Penske, the guy. Also, for Logano to have been racing for almost 20 years now, he started when he was 18. He only has 37 wins. Larson is not far behind him, and Larson started 7 or 8 years after, and he will pass Logano by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And it genuinely, if it was not, and I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if it was not for how long that the playoffs lasted, Logano would not be looked at as such a great race car driver and in that conversation.
Yeah.
Because he would not have 3 championships.
I agree.
So that's my whole Penske thing. And I mean, no, believe it or not, I'm not a Penske hater.
Totally agree. But I believe that wraps up our hot takes for the season. And wait, you got anything else?
I just thought about this. I'm going to spring it on you on the fly.
Okay.
We don't have to necessarily do it for the Clash, but what if we add a new layer this year and we give each race a rating from 1 to 10? By the time by the time the season's done, we could have a top 5 greatest races of the year from me, from you. We could average our scores out and then have the Checkered Chat's top whatever.
I like that. We could start that with Daytona.
Yeah, we'll do that with points races.
Yeah. If I were to give this one, I would say a 6.
I was thinking in the realm of I was probably gonna give it a 7.
Yeah. Anyways, so this has been the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
If Blake can stop laughing for 5 seconds.
Well, if you didn't watch, Justin just did the little hands.
6, 7,
yeah, there we
or whatever.
go.
I don't know.
Your chop don't.
Hey, shut up. Anyways, you guys can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, like and subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and you can't forget about it. Never forget. Audible. We will see you guys next week on Wednesday, probably. Anyways, bye.